Howdy and welcome back. So in this video, I want to introduce to our undirected graph type a way to check whether two vertices are adjacent to one another. That is, are they neighbors? So if we go ahead and look at our graph here, any two vertex for which an edge exists between them, we're going to consider adjacent by definition, and we'll consider them neighbors for a different flavor of vocabulary. So the question is, how can we write a function that checks for adjacency between two vertices in our graph? And what's important to recognize here is that we are dealing with undirected edges. So let's go ahead and look at our implementation here. Okay, so do you remember, hopefully you watched add edge. So in add edge, I introduced this is adjacent function. So you kind of already know how to make that check. What I said was, okay, since we're dealing with an undirected edge, and since that's guaranteed that if an edge exists between V1 and V2, an edge will exist between V2 and V1. In terms of the entries to the respective vertex adjacency list. Okay, so if we go ahead and we access the mapped value of V1 in our graph map, we'll get back a reference to V1's adjacency list, which I'm just storing here in a reference to const V1 adjacency list. I said that line 39 can be implemented using a simple for statement. I kind of humored myself in saying that probably would have been easier than explaining the find function, but just understand you can use either a range-based for loop or a for statement of more traditional means to iterate through that. And effectively, if you find V2 and V1's adjacency list, the function returns true. Otherwise, it will return false. So the question is, Michael, why aren't you, using this as adjacent function? Well, I declared that as a private helper function. And the reason being is I didn't put any sort of checks to ensure the arguments provided to these parameters were actually within our list of vertices. And the reason for that is I expected to use, or I didn't expect it since it's private, it will be used completely internal to the class. Therefore, I know that it is receiving proper data. So our neighbors function is simply going to check whether, because this is user facing, this is something a user of our class will be able to invoke on objects created from it. I'm simply going to check, hey, if V1 or V2 is not found within our graph, I'm going to go ahead and throw a runtime error in that case. Otherwise, I'm going to return the result of that private member function. Again, the reason for having two different here is this is internal, so I'm not taking the time to check whether the arguments are valid because I know they are since this is used internally. However, since this is user-facing, I'll make the checks and then invoke the function. And then that's all we need to do to test whether V1 and V2 are adjacent.